One of the verses and concepts that the Lord taught that it's always impressed me is this idea of praying for our enemies and praying for those who persecute us and despitefully use us. And that isn't an easy doctrine. It isn't an easy thing to do, but I'm grateful that we have a Lord who asks us to do that, who has trust in us to ask us to do a hard thing. And I believe that as our hearts are softened, as we are mellowed spiritually, as we turn to Him, we are much more likely to have compassion for our enemies. We are much more likely to pray for them and be concerned about them and have concern for their well-being. Related to that thought is another thought I've had, which is praying for those we have wounded. So, as I reflect on some of the things in my life and the lives of others where we may have wounded others intentionally or unintentionally, where we might have hurt them in some way, whether it be physically or emotionally or socially, or we might have said something about them or hurt their feelings, or treated them poorly, or snubbed them, or ignored them, or neglected them in some way. And this is something that happens a lot in human relationships, especially as we're younger, but oftentimes in close relationships as well, that we can hurt others and wound them, wound their feelings, wound their sensibilities. And we can pray for those we have wounded. I've found in my own life that there are some that I may have wounded in the past where I can't actually see them now. I can't meet with them. Our relationship has long since moved on. And some of these might be people I only met briefly, some more than briefly, but I don't see them. And so I've often felt the need to pray for them, to pray that those wounds would be healed, that anything I might have said or done to hurt them, that will be swallowed up in the joy of Christ, that He would heal their wounds, that they be willing to receive that blessing, that because Christ paid for my sin, that not only can I be healed of those wounds which I inflicted, but that person who's a victim, that person who's hurt, can also be healed. They can be blessed. And sometimes we may not even be aware. We're not always aware of wounds we have received from others or wounds we've given to others. And sometimes we are aware and we're repentant. And sometimes we're not repentant until much later on. But as I've prayed and as I've pondered and genuinely asked my Father in heaven to bless those people, to heal them, to nourish them, to strengthen them, and to know that I'm sorry, that I'm apologetic, that I ask for forgiveness, to know that I feel bad, to know that those people will be blessed because of the great love of our Father in heaven and our Saviour, and because of my desire to pray for them, that they might truly be healed, that their wounds might be overcome, that they might feel relief, that they will know that the person who harmed them is seeking their forgiveness, is seeking their benefit, is seeking their blessing, that they are to be blessed and strengthened and supported, and their well-being is of regard, is of importance to me. And I hope that others are praying similar things for me, that if they've wounded me, I hope that they pray that I will be blessed and comforted and healed and strengthened. And I think there's a beautiful principle here, that we can pray. As we do so, we believe in vicarious opportunities, and sometimes we're not there to help people, but we can pray for them. They might be a million miles away. They might be people we haven't seen for 10 or 20 or 30 years, but we can pray. We can pray for them by name and by need, to pray that their souls are blessed, to pray that they are loved, to pray that they are healthy and well, or that if they're sick, that they can be nourished, to pray that their needs are being met, to pray all the blessings of God upon them that we can offer, that because of our desires, and are trying to live good lives, that those people can be blessed and honoured and sustained and strengthened. I'm so grateful for the principles of the gospel that can allow us to be concerned for others, that can allow us to transcend the bitterness of the past, the stupidity of choices we might have made, our own fears, our own ignorance, our own abuses, both abuses given to us and ones we might have given to others. Things that we've said and done which were short-sighted, selfish, angry, mean, spiteful, petty. We can change. We can change. And we can also ask that others be healed of our mistakes and that they can be benefited. I'm so grateful for this glorious gospel of Jesus Christ, this restored truth that allows us to change and to pray for others to be saved as well as ourselves. How wonderful and marvellous this gospel of healing and recompense and forgiveness and prayers truly is.